Thank you, Seth, for joining us again this year and giving us the gift of laughter. And thank you all for being here, all 1,000 of you. Wow, and despite the fires from the north, really terrific. I am so thrilled to welcome you here tonight. And I hope you'll bear with me as I get serious for a bit, because gender violence is once again in the news. Here are just a few examples. A recent study found that homicide is the leading cause of death for women who are pregnant or postpartum. That is just absolutely shocking. Our country continues to be roiled by mass shootings, and perpetrators nearly always have a history of growing up in a violent home or committing acts of domestic violence. In February, sanctuary staff were quoted in a New York Times article highlighting how smart home systems, which control your heat, light, and door locks, can be taken over by an abuser, turning a home into a living nightmare. And in pop culture, Megan Thee Stallion and Amber Heard brought charges against their abusive partners, and both were vilified for having the audacity to speak out. These headlines are why Sanctuary exists, and we want these headlines to change, and that is why we are here tonight. Seth highlighted some of the services that Sanctuary offers, and we take enormous pride in every single person we touch. But we also know that helping individuals is not enough. What are the systems that allow violence to continue? What policies prevent survivors from getting the help they need? And what new laws are needed to keep people safe? Sanctuary's model is powerful, not just because of what we do for individuals, but on the systems that impact their lives. We argue cases all the way to the United States Supreme Court, like we did in Golan v. Sada, which changed the standard for determining custody in international abduction cases. We are strongly advocating for a change in the laws in New York that govern child custody and visitation. Right now, and this is hard to fathom, too many judges give visitation rights to highly abusive parents, putting children in horrifically dangerous and even deadly situations. And remember those smart home systems I spoke about? This is just one form of technology that can be weaponized in the hands of an abuser. We are actively seeking to change laws to protect victims from cyber abuse. Just an hour ago, I received news that a bill we supported, protecting victims from AI-generated cyber abuse, passed today in Albany, real-time proof of the impact of our work. These are just a few examples of Sanctuary's long advocacy agenda, changing laws and policies that make our systems more responsive and our communities safer. Direct services coupled with advocacy, that is the power of Sanctuary. We do both because, in the words of Desmond Tutu, there comes a point where we need to just stop pulling people out of the river. We need to go upstream and figure out why they are falling in. We could not do this work without our community, the expertise and passion of our staff, the generosity of all of you, and the work of our amazing board led by the wonderful Dennis McInerney. I especially want to thank tonight's underwriting sponsors, Jennifer Croman and David Wormuth, Jim and Robin Carey, they get applause too. Chuck and Marna Davis, Lynn and Nick Zerbib, and the Schwartz and Ferdman families, with a special shout out to Stephanie Ferdman for her decades-long commitment to our work. And as always, thanks to Lisa Mueller, Susan Puter, Jeannie Kimbrell, and Sanctuary's terrific development team for producing tonight's event. And thanks also to the wonderful volunteers, many hundreds working here this evening. Finally, my utmost respect and deepest gratitude to Sanctuary's talented and devoted staff who inspire me every day. Without their relentless commitment, this challenging work just could not be done. I'd like to close by sharing a short video that highlights Sanctuary from a survivor's perspective. Then we'll hear from our survivor leader, Ashley Marte, who was a survivor client and is now an advocate for change. Thank you so much for being here, for your generosity, and here's the video.